In 1962, the United States detonated a 1-megaton nuclear warhead 250 miles above the Pacific Ocean. The goal was not war, it was target practice. Specifically, target practice for the missile they were building to shoot down incoming Soviet warheads. 6 decades and over $1 trillion later, America still cannot reliably stop a single nuclear missile. 9 major programs. 8 failed or got canceled. 1 was ever operational. It lasted 132 days. The 9th attempt is the one Donald Trump signed into existence in January 2025. $175 billion weapons in orbit. And the Pentagon's own analysts have written reports saying it can't work. Anti-missile defense. The most expensive failure in American military history. Truth in steel. Let's go. Quick framing. Stopping a nuclear missile is harder than building one. The math is brutal. An ICBM accelerates to 7 kilometers per second. It reaches its target in 25 minutes from a Russian silo, 15 minutes from a submarine off the coast. In that window, you have to detect the launch, track the warhead, predict the impact point, launch your interceptor, and have that interceptor physically collide with a target the size of a refrigerator, while both are moving at 20,000 miles per hour. You get one shot. If you miss, a city dies. 9 American programs have tried. Here are all of them in order. The last one is going on right now. First, the original. Bell Labs, 1956. Nike Zeus, Western Electric prime contractor. 3-stage solid fuel missile carrying a W-50 nuclear warhead. Yield 1 megaton. The plan was straightforward. When Soviet ICBM warheads came over the horizon, you'd fire Nike Zeus into their general airspace and detonate your own nuke. Hopefully the explosion would catch theirs. July 1962, White Sands Missile Range. Operation Dominic, frigate bird test. A Nike Zeus interceptor was fired against a real Atlas D ICBM warhead. It came within 2 kilometers of the target. Officially a success. 3 months later, Cuban Missile Crisis. Robert McNamara, Secretary of Defense, refused to deploy Nike Zeus. His reasoning: Soviet ICBMs could carry decoys, and Nike Zeus radar could not distinguish between a warhead and a decoy. America would waste nuclear interceptors on inflatable balloons. Program canceled, 1963. Cost $1.6 billion in 1960s money, about $16 billion adjusted to today, for a program that never saw service. Second, the one with the swords. 1963, Nike X, same Bell Labs evolved. 2 missiles, 1 system. Spartan, the long-range interceptor. Range 700 kilometers, exoatmospheric, meaning it went above the atmosphere. Warhead, the W-71, 5 megatons. The biggest U.S. warhead ever deployed on an interceptor. The concept was bizarre. You'd detonate a 5-megaton nuke in space above the incoming Soviet warhead. The X-ray pulse would fry the warhead's electronics from above. Sprint, the short-range interceptor. Range 40 kilometers. Endoatmospheric. And this is where it gets strange. Sprint accelerated to Mach 10 in 5 seconds. 100 Gs on the airframe. Atmospheric friction heated the skin past 1600 degrees Celsius. The missile body was wrapped in an ablative phenolic ceramic that literally vaporized in flight, functioning as a heat shield. Sprint was designed to intercept incoming warheads in the last 15 seconds before they hit American cities. Intercept altitude, about 3,000 meters, just above the rooftops. Third, the 132-day defense, Safeguard. Successor to Nike X, deployed 1975. Site, Stanley Mickelson, Safeguard Complex, near Nakoma, North Dakota. The only operational ABM site in American history. 30 Spartan missiles in silos, 70 Sprint missiles in launchers. Built to protect, not American cities, but the Minuteman III ICBM fields in North Dakota. The logic: even if Soviet warheads got through, the U.S. would retain a counterstrike capability. The Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty of 1972 limited each side to 1 ABM site, 100 interceptors. Safeguard was that site. April 1st, 1975, Safeguard declared operational. October 2nd, 1975. Congress voted to deactivate it. Soviet Mir missiles. Multiple warheads per missile would overwhelm the system. The ABM treaty did not restrict Mirvis. February 10, 1976. Safeguard shut down. 132 days operational. Total cost, $7 billion in 1970s money. The Pyramid Radar building still stands in North Dakota, empty. Pause. 3 programs. 3 different American answers to the same question. The next 5 are wilder, more expensive, and most are still active. If you're new to Veridron, every video is 1 weapon system at a time. Subscribe to follow the rest. 4th, Star Wars, 1983, March 23, 1983, President Reagan, primetime speech, Strategic Defense Initiative, goal, render nuclear weapons impotent and obsolete. The press called it Star Wars. Funding, $30 billion over a decade. The weapons under SDI included space-based kinetic kill vehicles, neutral particle beams, hypervelocity railguns, and the wildest of them all, Project Excalibur. Excalibur was a nuclear-pumped X-ray laser, the concept. A small thermonuclear device in orbit, surrounded by lasing rods. When the device detonated, the X-ray output would be channeled through the rods, producing thousands of high-energy laser beams aimed at Soviet missiles in their boost phase. Edward Teller, the father of the hydrogen bomb, championed Excalibur, the one underground nuclear test that supposedly proved the concept worked. Operation Cabra in 1983 was later found to have been measurement error. The lasers never laced. Reagan signed the program 1983. Clinton killed it 1993. 0 interceptors deployed, $30 billion. 5th, the hero that wasn't. Raytheon Patriot, operational 1984. The first American missile defense system deployed in real combat quantities, over 1,000 launchers, 3 variants, PAC-1, PAC-2, PAC-3, Gulf War 1991, Saddam Hussein launched 88 Scud missiles at Israel and Saudi Arabia. President George H.W. Bush went on television, quote, Patriot intercepted 41 out of 42 Scuds, 96% kill rate, reality post-war. Theodore Postol, MIT physicist, analyzed every Patriot engagement on video. His conclusion, 0 confirmed kills. The Patriot warheads detonated near falling Scuds, but did not destroy them. Much of the ground damage came from Patriot debris. The Israeli Air Force internally never credited Patriots with any Scud kill. Then 2023, Ukraine. A Russian Kinzhal hypersonic missile fired at Kiev, intercepted by a Ukrainian Patriot PAC-3 battery. The first hypersonic kill in history, the Patriot of 2023 is not the Patriot of 1991. 3 decades of refinement. Different missile, different software, different war. Now we get to the systems that actually work. Most of the time. None of them have ever faced a real ICBM. 6th, THAAD. Terminal High Altitude Area Defense. Lockheed Martin, operational 2008, mission, intercept short to intermediate range ballistic missiles in their terminal phase, kinetic kill vehicle, no warhead. The interceptor rams the incoming missile at a closing speed of about 8 kilometers per second, test record, since 2005, 15 successful intercepts out of 15 attempts. The cleanest score of any American missile defense system. Real combat, United Arab Emirates, January 17, 2022. A Houthi-launched Burkan 3 ballistic missile, fired from Yemen, intercepted by a U.S.-provided THAAD battery over Abu Dhabi, the first combat intercept of THAAD ever. Strategic complication. South Korea, 2017. America deployed THAAD batteries on the peninsula to counter North Korea. China responded with informal economic sanctions on Korean tourism and exports. About $15 billion in losses. The real Chinese objection, THAAD's radar can see deep into Chinese airspace, cost per battery about $3 billion, cost per missile about $12 million. 7th, the naval one, Aegis BMD SM-3, Raytheon Standard Missile 3, launched from Aegis-class destroyers and cruisers, operational 2004, mission. Mid-course intercept of medium to intermediate range ballistic missiles outside the atmosphere. The famous shot, February 21, 2008, USS Lake Erie in the Pacific Ocean. Target USA 193. A decommissioned American spy satellite, re-entering with a full tank of toxic hydrazine fuel. SM-3 was modified specifically for this engagement. It hit the satellite at an altitude of 247 kilometers. The hydrazine tank was destroyed. Officially, this was a safety mission. Unofficially, the shot came 1 year after China's 2007 anti-satellite test that destroyed one of its own satellites. The Lake Erie shot was America's reply. We can do that too. And cleaner current deployment. 48 U.S. Navy ships with SM-3, plus land-based Aegis ashore in Romania and Poland. Quick check, comments below. Do you think America's anti-missile programs are real defense or political theater? Comment 1 for defense, 2 for theater, 3 for somewhere in between. 8th, the big one, ground-based mid-course defense, Boeing Prime, Raytheon Kinetic Kill Vehicle, operational 2004, mission, shoot down ICBM-class warheads in the mid-course phase, outside the atmosphere, traveling at 20,000 miles per hour, 44 interceptors, 40 at Fort Greely, Alaska, 4 at Vandenberg, California. Test record, 11 successful intercepts out of 19 total attempts since 2000, 56% success rate. Never fired in combat. The political fact, GMD was rushed into operational deployment in 2004 by the George W. Bush administration. The Missile Defense Agency had finished only 6 tests at that point. 5 succeeded, 1 failed. Real testing did not happen until after the system was already declared operational. Cost to date, approximately $55 billion. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the effective cost per warhead actually stopped in a real war, when you account for salvo failures and missed targets, somewhere between $200 million and $1 billion. The warhead being shot down costs, at most, $20 million. Ninth, the current one. The biggest of all of them, Donald Trump's Golden Dome, January 27, 2025. Executive order signed, the Iron Dome for America. Named after the Israeli short-range rocket defense system operational since 2011. Except the Israeli Iron Dome stops short-range rockets with a range up to 70 kilometers. Traveling at about Mach 1.5. The American Golden Dome is supposed to stop everything. Cruise missiles, hypersonic glide vehicles, ICBMs, submarine-launched ballistic missiles. The full Russian and Chinese strategic arsenal. The geographic scale is roughly 50 times larger than Israel. The threat envelope is about 1,000 times more demanding. 6 layers, as announced by the Department of Defense in March 2025. Layer 1. Space-based sensors. A constellation of infrared and radar satellites, approximately 200 satellites in low Earth orbit. SpaceX leads the launch contract bidding. Northrop Grumman builds most of the sensor payloads. Layer 2. Boost phase interceptors. Space-based kinetic kill vehicles designed to attack an enemy missile in the first 3 minutes of flight, while its rocket motor is still burning. This is the first time since Reagan's Brilliant Pebbles was canceled in 1993 that the United States has officially developed space-based weapons. Layer 3, exo-atmospheric midcourse. An expansion of the existing GMD system. 20 additional silos in Alaska, 20 in upstate New York, 20 in Texas, 60 new ground-based interceptors, total Layer 4, endoatmospheric midcourse. A new Lockheed Martin variant of the SM-3, deployed from Aegis ashore facilities along the coastal United States. 12 new sites announced, Layer 5, terminal defense. THAAD expansion to 18 batteries. America currently has 7. Plus PAC-3 Patriots at all major cities, defended areas, and military bases. Layer 6, counter-cruise, low-altitude radar and infrared sensors integrated with F-35 fighters and short-range surface-to-air missiles. Optimized against Russian Kh-55 and Chinese long-range cruise weapons that fly below traditional ICBM defenses. Total announced budget, $175 billion over 10 years. Independent analysis from the Congressional Budget Office, May 2025. Estimated true cost, between $400 and $800 billion, operational by 2030 at the earliest. The fundamental physics problem, identified by Pentagon analysts in a leaked memo from April 2025, to intercept a single Russian Yars ICBM in boost phase, you need approximately 15 space-based kill vehicles in position above the missile's silo at all times. Russia has 306 Yars launchers. China has roughly 400 ICBM silos under construction. The salvo math says the constellation required to defend against a real first strike would need to be in the order of 20,000 orbital interceptors. 20,000? A constellation 70 times the size of all current Starlink satellites combined. The Pentagon's own analysts have suggested that Golden Dome, like SDI, like every program before it, cannot actually stop a determined nuclear attack. What it can do is consume vast amounts of money and political attention. $175 billion, possibly 4 times that, to buy a sense of safety that the physics says doesn't exist. 9 programs, 67 years, over $1 trillion when you adjust for inflation and include the supporting infrastructure. 1 operational system in history, Safeguard, for 132 days. The math of missile defense has never changed. It is cheaper to overwhelm a defense than to build it.